It is 12:58. Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Jackson Williams. The Titans have made a move as they have signed free agent offensive tackle Chris Hubbard. And he is a 9-year vet with starters experience, and he gives Tennessee a tackle option while Nicholas Petit-Frere is suspended 6 games under the league's gambling policy. Hubbard most recently played for the Browns, where he played in 4 games and started 1. Dolphins 6-time Pro Bowler corner Jalen Ramsey will undergo knee surgery and is expected to miss the start of the regular season with the injury that he suffered during yesterday's practice. Per league sources, Ramsey's ACL is still intact, though, which is a positive for this situation. Going up to Cincinnati, Joe Burrow had to be carted off, suffering a non-contact injury near the end of an 11-on-11 training camp session. According to ESPN, the team believes it is a calf strain, which would sideline Burrow for the remainder of the preseason, but is not considered significant compared to other possibilities. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Let's rock and roll on a Friday. Blaine and Mickey, Titans, getting out the practice field. The heat index is like 104.5. It's literally our radio station outside today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, how was the guys moving around out there? I'm glad I wasn't out there. I might have passed out, man. I almost passed out from sitting down doing my NFL uniform policy. 3 hours long. That was fun.
3 hours
But
long.
I was in the cool, though.
What do they do? So, Blaine, people don't know this.
On Zoom.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, you were at home. You could, mute yourself and get up and walk around.
Yeah, I did.
Pet the
a couple
dog.
times, but
Yeah,
I didn't
go to the
expect it.
refrigerator.
I was thinking more hour and a half, but it turned into 3.
So, the NFL means business when it comes to uniforms that guys wear. So, Blaine, every city has, is it 2 guys?
Yeah, that away and home team.
Yeah. And they go and monitor on the field, like, hey, man.
Make sure you wear your uniform correctly.
Why you got black shoes on? Everybody else got on white. Why you got a towel that says, like, I love mom?
Or you got to be
Socks
approved
too
of
tall.
visors or cleats or, make sure you got your pads, all that, man. It's every year seems like there's some new issue I'm sure some player try to get away with. I was pretty much a real fall, except I didn't wear any pads. But they back then, they didn't even say anything. I never my rookie year, I was all padded up. And then after that, I was like, hey, man, I need everything possible to make sure I can run faster. So I took out the pockets of my pants.
I know. You told me. And even
I unstitched them.
Yes.
And then they looked like they're tights. They were silkies, whoop, go straight down. And I wore, the girdle thing underneath. And then that was it, man. Because sometimes I would wear long tights underneath, and that would be my blue socks. And then I'd wear my footies. Mm-hmm. And then I'd put tape around it so it looked like it was just like, You
made it look like a sock. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I rode every year. It didn't change a bit after my second year. Didn't ever change. I wore everything correctly. Probably, warm up sometimes. I didn't have my shirt down during warm ups or something, but yeah. But they always got hey, you gonna put that shirt down?
You wasn't about to hand somebody $3,000 or $2,500 or.
I got fined one time. I was really perturbed about it. But I did launch my head.
It wasn't anything to do with your uniform, but maybe how you hit somebody with part of it?
Yeah, it just showed up in my locker room. I was just hoping they missed it. It wasn't a televised game.
Eye in the sky, don't miss it.
Oh, man, on a blitz. I don't remember who the quarterback was for the Ravens, but I definitely went flying like Superman and hit him with my head. Yeah, and I did that intentionally. Well, intentionally because I had to jump over somebody like I was Superman.
Oh.
So it was a running back, so I forget who it was.
Okay. Yeah, but, there's pictures of a lot of these things.
Tony Banks?
Was Tony Banks?
Was it? Or was it Dill? I don't remember who it was, but it might have been Elvis Gerback. Was he there too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was somebody, man.
Who's who?
Because at the end, I tried to move my head, and you can see it.
Did you appeal? Like, look at this.
Yeah. And they were like, no can do. $15,000.
$15,000?
Oh, I was on my knees crying.
Oh, my God.
I was like, this is horrible. And so from that point, I'm never getting fined. I'm never getting fined.
Does it just come straight out of your check, or do you have to write them a check?
I wish, because I never would have wrote him jack.
You said I'm out of checks right
yeah,
now.
you could say, oh man, this check looks like my direct deposit. They give you, they give you the receipt, and you go, oh man, what happened? Oh, they just now took that out. Oh man, I wish they would have took it out like 2,000 at a time, or 1,000 or something.
Like put it on layaway.
Yeah, man, it hurt. It was painful. I was like, dang it, I'll never be able to get that back.
And you've told me there were dudes who were like, I don't care, man, just find me.
Oh, dudes would just wear their socks the way they wanted to and getting fined $5,000 just like it was nothing.
$5,000. And I know,
like, was it silly? What's wrong with you?
And I get it. They're making millions, whatever. $5,000 is $5,000, man.
Yeah, that's how I looked at it. Yeah. I'm not giving no money back.
You work too hard to get it.
Yeah, that I was not a big fan of that. I saw that was my one time, and I was like, got to be a little more systematic, because I tried to prove to them that I moved my head at the last minute. But they were like, Blaine, you went in like a missile and flew in the air, and your head glazed his head. I was like, what, at the last minute I tried to pull away?
Right.
Look what I could have done. Well, no, we still going to find you. Like, dang, this is rough sledding. But nobody's out there getting fined today at practice, though. They were just hot. But they was running around, huh?
It was hot. Running around, D-Hop. The Zone actually, I think, has a video among others. First one-on-one rep. And I get it, one-on-ones, they are what they are. Yeah. But contested catch, goes up, pulls the ball down, getting hit the whole time, catches the ball.
Told
like
you.
He is.
I told you.
I'm ready to get hurt.
Combat catcher, as Coach Mack would say, but I'm just saying his game will always be his game. He's not running, blowing by people like that. I mean, he does run by people at times, but his game is built on possession receiver, combat catch, route running, and making people miss, which is surprising, being that he's a 6'1", 2 guy. So, in the way he's built, most of those guys aren't elusive like that. But he's got all of that. The back trick, you don't see anything. I wasn't out there, but you don't see some like OBJ type, or like, see him just catch the ball and then take off. Whoa.
Right.
Nope, you're not, that's not his game. You're like, systematic, just continue to just, it's like you're playing your kid in basketball right now. You can post your son up every time and he cannot stop you. That's D-Hop. And as boring as that sounds, you can't stop him. Yeah. You got to be the elite of the elite, and you got to at least be 6 feet, and you better be physical at corner, or he's going to get you.
JR in the F&M Bank chat says, let's get football season started. I'm ready to be hurt again.
He's talking about the injuries to the Titans? Or
just that, and like D-Hop is out there, but, and another veteran receiver. We asked Chig about him after practice. Chig was walking off.
About D-Hop?
About D-Hop.
Yeah, what did he say?
And he said... And Chig is just funny. Like, he's just funny. He says funny stuff without trying to be funny. Yeah, I need to find this audio, and we can play it. But I'll paraphrase. He essentially said, yeah, man, he ran a route and, ran his break, and he never changed. Like he was here, and then he was there, and in getting from here to there, he didn't do anything.
And what you know what he's really saying? I mean, this is what I've talked about.
No tails.
Yep, no tails. And that's why he's so good. And when we talk about tails, I'm talking about as a corner DB guy, you're watching their hips, their feet, their arms, hips, all of that. When he breaks and to go break left, right, or whatever he's going to do, you can't see it because he does it so fast. And I'm telling you, this is why, when I used to study guys, this is why Jerry Rice was so good. Ooh. And everybody said, he ran a slow 40 time. Didn't nothing change. Didn't nothing change. You fast, you're not. And you go, but he running by people. Because his route running was so off the charts, nobody could even read any signs because he had none. And
for people who wonder about Blaine and Jerry Rice, you covered Jerry Rice.
Yeah, I was shaking in my boots too, boy.
Yeah, I would.
My rookie year, I was like, oh my God, there goes Jerry Rice. And I was bumper run press. I was like, just stay relaxed. My legs was getting stents and tight. I had to stand up, go back down. And I was acting like I was so focused, like, I'm going to get you, bro. Yeah. I was so glad they ain't throw to him. Because he was open.
Who got the pass on that one?
Somebody threw the other side.
Because that was Steve Young.
I was in the slot because I used to play slot. Mm-hmm. I was the nickel. And yeah, the young threw the other way. I was so elated. I think he was worried about getting hit. So somebody
Sean Jones or somebody was getting in his face.
Yeah, Jerry had to step on me, and that step means he got like 2 steps.
Right.
So, I was like, oh, man. It was one of the ones you catch up as he's throttling down, because that means the ball's already been thrown.
Right.
I was like, ooh, I got to make sure I do this a little bit different. I don't think I've guarded anybody like him.
Did you like pat him on the butt or something on the way by? Like, I got you. Like, hey, big fella. I've been here all day.
Nope. I told you I'm not a big talker unless you talking crap to me.
Oh.
I went like, oh dang, I got to figure out what I'm gonna do here next time. I ran back and didn't even look at him. I didn't. I didn't look at. I didn't want to hear him say, "Hey man, I got you. I saw you." Nope. We're gonna come back. We're gonna go back to the drawing board. They ain't throw over here. Nobody saw this. But I'm gonna figure it out. So next time I did my little soft pedal, so I can stay even.
Oh, you offered him a little something.
Yeah, you got to come back with the change up.
Sure.
Curveball. You got to adapt now.
It's like a buffet. You served him something different.
Yeah, because the slot is they could get easier release because they're off the ball. They got so much space. It's much harder than playing on the outside and the guys line up on the line of scrimmage. So I thought I was trying to get as close as possible to him so I could get him. Because if I get my hands on you, Jerry, I got you. Ain't nothing else. Ain't nothing happening. But that didn't happen either. Just like Torrey Holt. Just like I was going to get my hands on him in the Super Bowl. And he said, watch out. That's what you would say. Watch out.
Right.
Yeah, he went inside. I said, why?
But you told me, slight bobble. By that time, you right there.
I got it.
You got it.
Never give up on play. Yeah. Yeah. But that if that was Jerry right, that was a touchdown. he wouldn't have double caught. I don't think he would have. Yeah. I would have still hit him and tried to go for the ball. No, you got to finish the catch. So
I will say this about D-Hop. We were talking about his size a little bit. There was a contingent of us just kind of. So if you go to professional football practice, there are times like it's a period where they just work on special teams. So like all the guys who are punt gunners and wedges and all these things, they'll go to a whole other field and they'll just special teams their brains out. And like the linemen will go do lineman stuff.
And then receivers and quarterbacks usually, DB sometimes even go over to another field and they kind of work on some different stuff.
So it's like for 6 minutes, like Ryan Tannehill just with like Burks and D-Hop, they just have their own little time. And like Byard and Hooker never go to they're on the same field. Tannehill, Burks, Hopkins. It's only a handful of them that are just have no connection to special teams at all. They're not going to do it. And King will be like down with the running backs coach, kind of just working on jab step or whatever he's working on. So we all looked at this. Everybody think, oh, Traylon Burks, man, that guy's a unit. Oh man, that guy, D-Hop is. They're standing next to each other. Their helmets are in the exact same place. They're same height.
Wait, what did they say Burks is supposed to be? What's his height?
I always thought Burks would be taller. I always thought, okay, Burks is probably 6'2", 6'3", and D-Hop is more like 6'1". I don't care what they're listed at. They're the same height. They're the same height. Now, I will say this, and that you're a thigh guy, I know. Like Burks, like butt and thighs.
Yeah, he's thicker.
He's thick.
No, he's thicker, especially this offseason. It didn't look like that last year, but this year it has. Yeah, when I went out there in OTAs, he looked well put together. Remember, he had a little chubby build to him. He didn't have.
He couldn't breathe this time last year.
Yeah, so he's a different looking player. Looked much stronger. Right now, he has more upside, but we got to see him do it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people's like, oh, D-Hop's the number one. I remember I keep saying 1A, 1B. And when I say that, it's versatile. They're going to switch in and out. Because the season may start, they may focus on D-Hop like he's doing at practice.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, they're like, well, they're doubling. We're going to be going to Burks. Mm-hmm. And then D-Hop gets nothing, and he's a decoy. And so that can interchange throughout a game, let alone game to game. And then you got other weapons with Chig and Henry and everybody else. I'm interested to see how it all works out because it could help Burks and then build that confidence when he starts beating one-on-ones. Mm-hmm. And then now he's at where he needs to be. Sometimes seeing it by a vet, it helps. It definitely helps, especially somebody with that kind of talent like Burks, man. It's pretty impressive.
Like, people forget now, Chris Moore. Chris Moore's a really big.
He's tall. No, he's a big guy. He's a little stiff to me in his breaks. He has some tails in him, but he's definitely serviceable. Well, I'm not you guys always. I like Phillips because he runs great routes, but he could be right after that. I don't know where people would put NWI, but I don't know what I saw there. I just Moore's just a little stiffer, so I don't know if that was because of OTAs, but I haven't seen it. I'll be out there tomorrow for sure. Actually, not just to watch, but I'll also be out there doing autographs. They're doing something with the former Titans there. And all I know is Brad Hopkins is going to be out there too. But so I'm gonna be watching. I'll watch stuff like that, not necessarily all scheme, who got what, and I like watching. I still observe as though I'm still a player because I'm looking for tips.
Ryan from Lebanon.
What more look like to you today? Did he do something?
No, he's running with the twos. He and NWI are running with the twos.
Gotcha.
I'll say this. The backup quarterbacks yesterday both had a pretty nice day. I think there were only a couple of incompletions thrown by the quarterbacks yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the last two throws from Malik Willis. But today it wasn't that way for Malik Willis and Will Levis. They both kind of had ups and downs today.
Oh.
When the bullets started flying, they both had some ups. Tannehill didn't, though. He looked sharp. I will say this. Well, let me say this. One guy today was the guy that we were all talking about after practice. He doesn't play offense. You will love this. One guy was the guy we were talking about today. Mm-hmm. He even got asked a question after practice. How many sacks do you think you would have had today? What was the number? We'll tell you that. And Ryan from Lebanon wants to talk quarterbacks, wants to talk Tannehill. We'll do that next. Ryan, we'll get into all that. Hold. You want to talk about practice, what we saw today, what you want to know, what you think?
Practice.
We got an hour to talk Titans. Take your phone calls, Buck Reising, and call your shot in hour number 2. But this hour is for all of us, 615-737-1045.
For many of you who have lived here a long time, you already know Eurofix has been in Middle Tennessee area for your European car repair needs now for 24 years. And we've all gotten to watch them grow. And I don't know about you, but I love watching a hometown business take off. Well, we are now proud to announce the 5th location in Mount Juliet for Eurofix on Mount Juliet Road, right across the street from Dairy Queen. And Eurofix can serve you in Franklin, Hundred Oaks, Murfreesboro, Belmead, and now Mount Juliet. Pretty cool getting to watch a small-town mechanic starting in the barn in his backyard of a single-wide trailer and now grow to 5 locations repairing thousands of cars each month. And at Eurofix, you get a 3-year nationwide warranty and a free loaner car with every repair appointment. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or you can visit them online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com. Always tell them Blaine, said you. So dog may be it.
Blaine and Mickey 104.5 The Zone, hanging out on a Friday. By the way, happy Friday to you.
Oh, my back crack.
Got big plans this week. You got big plans this weekend? Titans practice? Is that your plans?
Oh, that's my plans. Titans practice. Yeah, that's it.
That's a good plan.
Yeah, check them out.
Let's get
everybody else.
Let's get Ryan's call because he was kind enough to hold. He wants to talk about Tannehill and the QBs. Then I'll tell you who was MVP of practice today. And I get it. There's no pads. Coach Mag would say keep your powder dry. But boy, this dude. We may even have this guy making a proclamation about how good his day was. But let's hear about Ryan and Lebanon's day first. Ryan, thanks for checking in, man.
Fellas, happy Friday.
Yes, sir.
Happy Friday, Lebanon.
That's right. Quick question for you guys. So if Tannehill comes out and plays great, 3, 4, 5 games, do you see him getting an extension in the middle of the season? Because, honestly, that's what I was going to call call my shots. I'll go ahead and throw that out there.
Oh.
Thank y'all. Have a good weekend.
I appreciate that. Blaine, that's the mystery of mysteries.
Man, remember, I thought they should have given him an extension.
Before the year.
Yeah, I did.
Off season.
But then they drafted quarterback. Because the whole thing is, okay, if he plays great, what are you going to do? You going to let him walk? You draft 2 quarterbacks? I don't know, man. Dang it. I don't know. I got a funny feeling he's going to do really well. They gave him everything he can ask for. You got some second-year guys. Hopefully they rise like everybody else does when you're high draft picks with Chig, too. And then now you got D-Hop. King's going to be fired up. I feel like he's going to have a good year, so I don't know what they're going to do. Remember, that was my whole dilemma. Like, what if he plays well? What if all of them play well? What are you going to do?
Mark King plays well,
I think they'll say, well, if they do, they may get 1 more year, and then they're gone. Yeah. So I don't think he would do, if I'm his agent, I wouldn't do a 1-year extension. I mean, you make it 2 and it's a fluff year or something.
It's a 2-year deal, but you can get out after 1,
I want to lean towards that, to be honest. Because you know why? You know what you got.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what you don't have behind them, at least at this moment. How the other quarterbacks do? It's a roller coaster ride all the way through preseason, and they're going to have some good days and bad days. But Tannehill completed pretty much all his passes, and meanwhile, the second and third guys, how do they look? Willis and
not
Levis.
as good today. Not as good. I mean, it was a rough day. I believe Levis had the only interception on the day.
Both of them were inconsistent.
Yep.
Today.
Both were inconsistent.
If he plays well, I would probably give him a 2-year extension and maybe 3 and make it dummy years in case you want to get out of after 1 year. But I don't know who's going to go for that as a quarterback. I don't know. I'd be just like, just make me a free agent. I'll roll.
Have we got the sound from Arden Key? This was new Titans outside linebacker Arden Key after practice today. Was getting asked some questions, and Sam Phelan of A2Z Sports just asked him, how many sacks do you think you had today?
We don't go down to their competition. We raise it. So I know every time we come out here and beat them up, then they ain't got no choice but to get better.
How many sacks do you think you had today?
I think I had about 7 today.
7 today, yeah?
Yeah.
Somebody said round it up.
At one point, he was back there he was just not back there. He was just back there. And he goes on his right, on left. So he and Dillard has seen a lot of him.
Oh.
He is going at Dillard.
Were you sure that Dillard was there every time he was out there?
Yeah, Dillard is the left tackle. And
Right, I know, but they might have been rotating. I don't know.
No, it seems like Key is pretty much like the guy over there, and Dillard is the guy opposite him.
Ones versus ones.
Yeah, ones versus good on good. Yep.
I'm not going to get too bent out of shape, but it's a little concerning. I can say that. I know we're in charts, but he's not supposed to be back there every time. And especially if he's kind of doing somewhat the same move every time. Like, bro, shuffle, expand, and pop him.
Mm.
Like, this is why I'm not coaching. Because the pros, you can say what you want to say. I'd be like, hey, man, what are you doing? Or I would be like this if I'm an O-line coach. Are you trying to get me fired? or are you trying to get cut? Which one? Because one day, one of these plays, you got to figure out that you're going to go and block this guy. Shuffle, shuffle, explode. Your life depends on it. Guess what? I'm going to say this. See, I would say crazy stuff. Y'all think, watch me. I'd be like, hey, you see that quarterback back there? Act like that's your wife or your daughter. And you better block that freaker dude, man. I'm tired of seeing this guy run around here and making me look bad. And by the way, when you look bad, I look bad.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Boy, it would be serious. I'd be serious as a heart attack. Because that's serious. That's how people really get coached. And besides, there's a whole bunch of explicatives behind it. People like, oh, you're in the pros now. What? Oh, man, you get chewed out in that meeting room. Sometimes I didn't even want to go in that meeting room. And not because they're going to be talking to me. It's just like, oh, my God, he's going to light these dudes up today. Oh, my God, I don't even want to hear it. I got to go to the bathroom, coach. I got to do number 2. Whoa. I'm like, good Lord. Because some guys, when you start making repeatedly, it's the same mistakes. That's when they really get bent out of shape. Yeah. Not a physical, like, oh, man, you got caught. He caught that touchdown one-handed on you. No, not that. Assignments, technique. Oh, what's your plan B here after plan A didn't work? What are you doing? Yeah, so that would be frustrating already. Like, for me as a coach, we'd be in that meeting room like, hey, man, what's up? Is he Von Millerish today? He that good?
I'm looking at some of my team notes.
Hey, Jiminy.
There was basically a coverage sack once, and Danico Autry. By the way, people keep forgetting about Danico Autry. Like, Danico Autry's been like the most consistent sack guy since he's been here. Danico Autry. He's versatile. He does whatever they ask.
Inside, outside.
So
but, usually he doesn't do a lot at practice.
Nope,
when I say that,
not.
I'm talking about, like, making plays. He's practicing, but he's working on technique. He's a pro's pro. He understands how he's looking at how he got to beat his opponents. He's just managing through training camp. It's,
I'm doing what I need to do to get myself ready to play as many games as I can. That's what that dude don't say.
So if he's making plays out there now already, oh man.
So there were several coverage sacks today, even in 7-on-7. There were a couple coverages in 7-on-7. And for people like, what are you talking about? There's no sack in 7. Okay, there's no rush. But where the quarterback make a cake, pat the cake, pat the cake, pat the cake, roll out, pat the cake, finally just step out of bounds or just, run 5 steps forward and they blow the play dead.
Dang, so
they covered great today.
That well job, and the safety's over the top.
So maybe it makes a coverage and lack of separation, especially with the 2s and the 3s.
Who's the starting corners? Can you say that?
Who you think they are?
Oh, okay. But I was wondering where Button where's he at in this? Yeah, but I'm talking about if you just base, offense, no 3 wide receivers, 2, who's out there? Do we know yet?
I don't remember specifically looking at a play with only 2 people out in a pattern and thinking like, oh, those are the 2 guys. Oh. But I mean, it's again.
But is McCrary playing in the slide?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is who you think it is, where you think it is.
Those 3, the 3, best.
But I'm looking at these notes like Tannehill out route to 10. And then a seam route to 10, and then he hit Chig. So then there was a coverage sack, and Autry was basically right there to, like, put his arm around him at the end of that one. So that's Autry. Okay, last play of team, the first round of 1s on team, Dillard bull rushed by Key into 17. Like, where he just walked him into the quarterback. Where there's like stop.
He's doing his plan B. See?
Because that was the plan B where he took it. Yeah.
Run around.
Yeah.
Nope, run around, bam! And now I'm bull rushing you.
Because you asked me what's the same thing every time, and I thought, no, because the one time he bull rushed it.
Yeah, and see, now he's playing light-footed because he think he's going to do the runaround. Shoulder dip, lean, motorcycle lean, and all those things. Yeah, and then he came with the bull. Ooh. Oh, I can't wait to watch this tomorrow. You're going to have me all over this.
Last play of the second round of 1s on the team, Arden Key, sack.
Dang.
Yeah.
You sure his name ain't Von Miller?
Third play of the third round of team, 11 on 11, Arden Key, sack. I mean, he was just back there over and over. And these are the obvious ones where, like, he has run 3 steps past Tannehill, and then he throws the ball kind of thing. Not the other ones where, if everybody's hitting everybody and it's live, there's an even bigger mess.
And then this is concerning a little bit. No, this is a new O-line coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And no comments out there going on?
But we hadn't talked to him. We'll get
I
these.
made comments you could hear him say something to Dillard.
Oh, I'm sure he's.
I listen to all that.
Well, tomorrow, Saturday.
Well, as a player, I did because, like I said, if he ain't gonna do it, I will.
I'm
not here to try to win, man. Shoot, man. Hey, what's going on, bro?
I would think there's some stuff that could be said tomorrow, probably that you would hear. But he was.
And when you're overwhelmed with someone with speed, you must then rely on your technique. Mm-hmm. So Dillard, I thought, watching him on film, you could see
Justin Hoteling's O-line coach.
He's a good technician but his athleticism stands out more. So sometimes a lot of those guys at any position kind of rely more on their athleticism until you become a technician, because you're going to run against some guys, and key is a speed rusher. You got to know who you're going against. So you got to at least plan for that initially, and then play accordingly. So that's dang, man. So we talking about the blindside tackle, the guy we gave $7 million to or whatever it was, whatever he's making, and we not even talking about the frontside tackle where MPF is suspended. What's MPF? He running with the 2s or 3s? What's he doing? 3s, okay.
3s.
So,
so who? It is what we
so
like.
It's a rotational over there. So we worried about the oh man, yeah, don't let me go over there and see this. I'll be real curious. Big guy, that'd be a Sunday the next day.
and Suge Knight of Nashville weighs in the F&M Bank chat. He said, "Does it matter that there's no pads on?"
A little bit, but a guy shouldn't be out there dominating like that. Like, do you see a receiver dominating like that on the corner? In 7-on-7 and team. Now 1-on-1s is a little different ball game.
I don't even count one. You told me a long time ago, hey, don't come in and tell me how great somebody did in 1-on-1s.
Yeah.
Unless it's a cornerback or safety. Like if they covered everybody, tell me about that because that's hard.
Yeah.
So I'm not even counting
the
that.
goal is to
Those are just
be right there
watch.
when they catch the ball and be right there.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job because there's no pass rush. There's no disrupt timing.
Right. You can put 6 moves on the guy and all that. Yeah. So I don't even count that anymore. I will say this. Even some of the...
It's good to see the talent, though, in 1-on-1s at any position.
Yes.
To see what they look like.
There was like a covers bust at one point where Chig was just running like deep dig, like no one around.
A dig or a post down the middle? Post.
A post.
And nobody was there?
Nobody was there. Deep post, nobody was there. Now, they got to him, but I wrote down bust in my notes. But there was a lot of good coverage today and guys around guys. And
now, typically, we must always say this is really unfair. I'm being a defensive guy, but it is true. Offense usually is behind the defense in timing, and it's a lot of intricate things going on in the passing game when you're talking about throwing the football, even on 7-on-7 and team. So, let's see where they look here in a week and a half, 2 weeks, because usually that's when they kind of pick up. That's why I was a little surprised last year the offense looked better from the jump, which was really interesting, especially the pass game.
But that is a football thing. Typically, you go first few days and defenses ahead of the offense. It just looks like that. Yeah. Greg Burton says in the F&M Bank chat, is Tannehill forcing the ball or is he tossing it away when the play's not there? He really needs to work on that. I don't. When it comes to D-Hop, he just throws the ball to D-Hop, which we knew that was going to happen. That's D-Hop.
Well, he's developing trust and where to put the ball where he can only get it. And that's why I think he's kind of making sure, because he knows he's going to miss it at some point in time here. I think he's going to leave or whatever. So he's trying to get that timing down early. And, sometimes other receivers may feel like, well, dang, are we going to get the ball? Eventually they do. And then, practice kind of moves on. But certain plays are called, and he's like, I'm going to him, and I got to see where I got to put the ball for him.
I will say this. Wednesday, most all the completions were check, flat, just a quick out, things like that. Today they threw more. And I know they're installing different stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. Maybe that was an emphasis today. But they hit some stuff 15, 16, 18. The pass to Chig was probably about 20 yards down the field. Now, he also took some checks and some.
I don't hear you talking about Burks. Did he catch any balls?
Yeah.
Okay. But the defense did well.
Defense did well. The defense had plays in 7-on-7 where nobody was open. 1s, 2s, and 3s. Yeah, or just jog till you run out of bounds.
Right. But that's
Or wait till the end of the play, and then I'll check it down to you because you're just
Yeah.
staying there because I like you. Pad your stats a little
that's
bit.
called domination.
That-
no DBs yet up. Woo!
Oh, no,
we
that
let
was
down.
And this is no pads.
No, I know.
Oh, no, there's some DBs yelling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a great thing about
'Cause
practice.
they know that is almost impossible.
It's not even made. That system is not made for them to be able to do it, and they did it sometimes today.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, it was an interesting day for the defense for sure. Joe, up next. Let's get this next call on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline. Will D-Hop make this secondary better? Is that what you're wondering about?
Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Just want to ask the hitman, whenever he had a real good receiver come in, did it bring up his game, or do you know where you stand at that point in your career or whatever? I mean, just questioning as to how much better is this going to make the defense with him coming in?
Yeah, well, first of all, it definitely is going to help not only receivers and the offense, but you raise up your level, especially in training camp when a guy gets there this early. So you want to see how you stack up. You want to get little tidbits that you've been watching him now or competing against him, and then now you get to see him in practice and you say, oh, dang, that's what he was doing. That's what he's working on. Because when I watch D-Hop, that's what I envision that he is he works on little bitty things that will be effective in game. He's not going to do anything in practice to make you go, wow. Maybe if it's a one-hand catch or something. But I'm talking about more so him, running routes and just, bursting away from people looking like he's just a man amongst boys. I just probably more so jump ball, systematic timing, rhythm, as you said, no tails on his breaks. That's So yeah, he definitely raises the level, no doubt. Whenever you have a great player on a team that goes to a new team, yeah, it does. Yeah, it definitely does.
Well, I mean, the old saying, iron sharpens iron. I can tell you this. I mean, the thing that I tried to turn pro in was music. And when I had to play around better music players.
You stepped it up.
Let me tell you something.
You played your best.
Oh, my gosh. I was a completely different player.
See?
That's if you compete at any level, at anything.
Anything.
In music, secondary. And I was looking
So
at
he's
this.
helping the secondary based off the call. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's helping the secondary.
The last play of team today, Tannehill was kind of back there in the backwash a little bit. Maybe that would have been another one. It's like, oh, that's close because there were guys all around him. And he uncorks one at the last second. And D-Hop is just kind of over by the sidelines and like almost one-handed with the guy all over him and got like one toe in but couldn't quite get the other one. And even that play was like, wow. See, he was covered. It was a coverage deal where he's like, pat the ball. Okay, play's over. Let me just throw. He threw to D-Hop. And he was well covered on the DB. Gosh, you would have loved it. DB knew I got all the leverage in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not past me.
Mm-hmm.
I got my spot, and he's run out of real estate.
On the side.
And I don't remember. I tried to look back and see who the DB made to play because the DB kind of helped him, but still he almost caught this ball covered. Deep into a play and still almost turned it into 8, 9, 10-yard
and
game.
that's a play that will be complete in the game, and you say, oh, that was 3rd and 6, and that kept a drive alive.
Sure.
And see, that is D-Hop's impact.
Yep.
Where some people will look at it like that's not, a huge impact. No, it kept a drive alive, and you got 3 more down. And, oh, by the way, helped your defense out, too. You got 3 more plays of rest. So, this is gonna be all right. It's turning out to exactly what I thought he was. Detail-oriented, professional. Yeah, he's a pro's pro that's elite. Because those are the little things that nobody talks about as, to the public that makes players special. He's got all those little things, man. Those little cheats, man. He's got them. It would be irritating me, boy, at practice.
I tweeted out this rep of Traylon Burks and Chris Jackson, and people are talking about it.
I forgot Chris Jackson's out there.
Titans Talk says, well, illegal contact and holding, and he still got beat. It's one-on-one, but people are asking, like in the chat, okay, how did Traylon Burks do? So a one-on-one play with he and Jackson, who's a versatile guy and has stuck around here 3 years now. Uh-huh. But in his break, like Jackson hits him going into his break, and then you can see, like, he's got him by the arm coming out of his break, and he fights his arm off and catches the ball, and their feet kind of get tangled, but he stays up. The big fella stays up.
Oh, he's strong.
He's strong. Yeah. So, no, y'all don't worry about Burks. He's looking good, I promise you. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. More Titans talk when we come back. And Buck Reising join us in hour number 2. Call your shot. We've already had one shot called. You can drop a shot in the F&M Bank chat. But we'll keep this Titans discussion going next here on Blaine and Mickey. All right, all you lake lovers and want to be lake lovers, it's go time. You've been hearing me talk about Tennessee National, your chance to have not just like life on the lake, but like amazing life. And it's also on the lake. This is the best of the best of the best. It's all about 20 minutes from Knoxville. And they've got a lot situation that's going to work for you if you want to live on the water, if you want an estate lot, or they've got these sunset waterfront lots. We're talking lake villa packages, have your own spot. You can just go and maybe you just want to live there full time. Maybe go there on the weekend, take your crew. Maybe you just want to take yourself and chill out. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? And they've got marina and resort and walking trails and shoreline and a clubhouse. And they play pickleball over there and pools. And look, man, this is your chance. It's go time. One day only property release, and it's Saturday, July 29th, Saturday. You need to get an appointment. You need to set a time to go look at this and secure your lake future. Again, financing available, limited property release, July 29th, tomorrow. Visit us at lakelivingtn.com, or better yet, call now, 865-408-9992. Invest in something real. Get yourself to the lake.
You all to attack maybe more this year?
Oh, yeah, a lot more. I mean, right now, it's day 1, day 2 of camp, so it's all the day 1, day 2 stuff, so it's not very hard. I guess when days pile long, we'll see, but yeah, we're definitely able to play a lot faster. A lot of the verbiage is toned down so we can go quicker.
Blaine and Mickey, that was Chig Okonkwo.
Oh, Chig.
Chig asked by Teresa Walker, the queen, so what is faster about this? He said shorten the verbiage so we can play faster. Remember we all spent the spring like wondering, they all kept saying we're going to play faster, and everybody kept saying play faster. Like play faster? And it's more like, yeah, the play calls are just shorter, so everybody can like get to where they're getting faster.
Made it easier.
Hey, man, I'm a big fan of easy.
Yeah, me too.
So I like that.
Oh, I laugh when I hear some of the plays the quarterbacks call when they mic them up. I was like, do what?
Yeah.
Man, defense could be in my rookie year. I used to be, especially the first week. You hear the call, and I go, I just need to listen to the end of the call. All the rest of the stuff has nothing to do with me. Yeah. And that's what happens in offense, too, I'm sure.
And for people who wonder, like, what's Blaine talking about? Typically, the way a play is called, each part of the play tells this is what the O-line does. This is this guy's responsibility.
Receivers, running back, linemen, formations, fly formation. I mean, yeah, it kind of continues. So you just got to know what to listen for.
Right. What's my part of the play?
But nobody explains that to you. So at first you're sitting there listening to, what am I supposed? Yeah, then I figured it out, but yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because then they throwing all the plays at you, all the different formations. It's just, ooh, your head is spinning. Watch this. Ain't like football players, the smartest dudes out there. So it's like, hey, man, can we simmer down, man? I don't want two dudes running into each other going the opposite directions, man. That's not good for us.
Well, you've talked about teammates before who were like, I'm not naming any names, but you'd be like, that guy was looking at me like, yeah, man, I don't know about any of that. I'm going to cover that guy.
Yeah. And I just used to be like.
And
okay.
you were the guy who knew what everybody was supposed to do.
Yeah, I did. And I was like, okay, hey, man, just do that and I'll just play. But if you're going to do that, do it fast so I know you're going to do it because we may not have time to communicate in the game. That's how I used to be talking to him. Like, I'm cover 2. I got over the top. I'm deep. And the guy's like, man, I'm never going to see number 2 break out because sometimes they go with 7, sometimes they go with 8, sometimes they go with 5. Once he gets past 5, Blaine, I'm gonna lock on my guy. You get him, Denard Walker. Okay, I got him. Yeah, I was just like, okay. Hey, but you know what I love though about that? He understood who he was, and that's cool. I can play off him, bro.
Right,
let's go. Because he kept, messing it up in the meeting, and that was one of them. What did you do? Yeah, all that.
From coaches?
Yeah, in the meeting, and then he goes, I ain't too good. They did that like 5 days in a row. So, yeah, a lot of that probably don't go in as much, but it still definitely goes on. Too much is at stake. Every play is the last play, like, ever in your life. That's how it's played. That's why I see all the injuries, the desperation of every play.
By the way, you mentioned injuries.
Nobody got hurt on the Titans, did?
No.
Oh,
just some scary stuff around the league with Jalen Ramsey. What a meniscus! He's going to be out a few weeks, and then the whole world holding his breath because the next guy to get paid, Joey Burrow, he went down like.
Oh, I saw him running outside the pocket, and he already had the calf sleeve on.
Yep.
I was like, hey, did he tweak that before? And he just got because he tried to take off,
and he stopped immediately.
Oh yeah, it's a calf strain, but man, I wouldn't see him at any time during this camp at all. Especially if they're doing a new contract. I want to make sure I get him right, get him ready to go for the beginning of the season, and probably 2 weeks into the season start practicing. I would be, it's just like a hamstring. So to me, this is no different. This calf strain, hamstring, any strained muscle, especially in the lower body, that thing can jump back quickly. So you want to get it to a level where it won't continually get worse. It'll just stay the same. And when you get to there, then you start building confidence. It won't get any worse. Even if you press it, that's when you're, at the 80% mark. And especially a quarterback, he could probably get away. He may not run as much. And he's not a runner, but he can run. I mean, he's a elusive quarterback, so he runs. But that's not his ticket is his arm. And the weapons he has to get to his playmaker. So yeah, this is a little concerning for them, but hey, lucky it's nothing serious. But the Jalen Ramsey, a local kid here, who's a phenomenal talent. I'm kind of interested to see what kind of meniscus tear it is now. Mm-hmm. And I say this only through my own personal experiences where I tore a meniscus and then I kept playing with it. And then I had the surgery and played the next week. I mean, I had to miss because there's two type of injuries you can have. Sometimes they shave it off, the meniscus, and then sometimes they reattach.
You got shaved off, right?
Yeah, I shaved off.
You were like, I don't need that.
Because the way I'm built. See, that's why I said it. I did a deep dive into this. The way I'm built is my lateral meniscus. It was my lateral meniscus, which is outside. So I'm bow-legged, so I never had pressure on my outside of my knee, like when I'm moving. Like, so let's say if you're playing basketball, you want to change directions. I had all my weight on the inside because of my bow legs were always pressing out. So most people would probably get it reattached. That's what happens to a lot of basketball players, and that's all of a sudden then they're out for months,
right?
Because they're reattaching it and they're going to get it back right, and they heal it all the way. So I don't know which one he's doing because I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so I'm just interested because if he has the reattachment, he'll be out till December. Like it takes a bit of time, and it does heal, and you come back and you don't miss a beat.
Right.
Get shaved off, depending, if they do the, let's say, 6 weeks deal, he'll still be fine. It's just, possibility they get re-injured, especially a corner where you're, everything's about changing directions. You get your body in different positions, and your knees are taking the brunt of it, knees and ankles and feet are taking the brunt of everything. So, wish him well, man, on that, man. That's a tough blow, but luckily no ACL for them. I'm sure of that. I'm sure he's excited about that too. If you're going to get injured, just in football terms, it's just a meniscus tear. It's funny that that's what it's like. Oh, that's cosmetic,
right?
That's nothing, dude. A normal person be like, oh, I'm down for 3-6 months.
Or like when a guy breaks a bone, you're like, oh gosh, he's lucky he only broke a bone. Not a ligament, but a bone. The bone will heal. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. We talk about football players and hockey players.
Yeah, hockey players.
Different than other people.
Yeah.
Hockey players finish the season and be like, I lost 6 pints of blood after that last game, and then I had a broken fibula, and I lost an eyeball. This is just a marble that looks like an eye. Yeah. But I finished the season. Hockey people are you can't talk about it. You don't have upper body or lower body, because NFL with gambling, they say, oh, no, it's his left toe, the second one from the end.
Very detailed.
And a hockey guy could lose a
foot. And I make sure I step on that toe, too, by
100%.
The way.
And if you don't know which one, it's just step on all of them. Hockey guys, though, it's a lower body injury. You get your throat slashed by a skate, upper body injury.
Oh, my.
They don't specify. So, all right, we'll specify this. We got 1 hour coming up. Buck Reising's going to join us. We'll get his take from the first couple of days from Titans training camp that we've seen. We'll tell you what we saw today. We'll take your call, 615-737-1045. We'll also call our shot. You want to drop a shot in the F&N Bank chat? You can do that.
Shot.
My shot, I'm just going to tell you, is going to be my camp crush for this year.
Oh, you already got yours.
I found him. It's not a rookie either. Going with the vet this year. You got to stick around to hear that.
I got to guess it when we come back.
No, don't guess. I think you'll get it. Hour 2 coming up.
School's out, but Tennessee summer season is definitely in session. So if you haven't taken care of it yet, Cool Ray can keep you cool with a $69 AC tune-up. And maybe you've already noticed that the AC unit is not acting right. Well, they have trusted certified technicians on standby, ready to find the fix so you don't break a sweat. And this includes no service fee with any repair. And maybe things are past the point of repair for your AC unit. Well, Cool Ray has a solution for that, too. Going on now, you can save up to $1,250 on brand new Temstar home comfort systems. Plus, they boost a lifetime parts and labor warranty on new Temstar home comfort systems, including $0 in repair costs for the life of your system. And don't forget, Cool Ray isn't just there for your HVAC needs. They're protecting your entire home thanks to the Cool Ray electrical team, who can help you find the perfect whole home generator just in time for the stormy weather. So schedule your next visit online at coolray.com. No phone call, no wait, no worries. You pick the date and time that works for you. That's coolray.com.
Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. The Tennessee Titans have signed a right tackle, just not the one that we've been paying attention to. No, it's not George Fant. It's actually Chris Hubbard. In fact, he was actually on the field practicing for the Titans today. Now, over his 85 games that he's been in the NFL, the big thing that you need to know is I say right tackle because 41 of his games and starts that he has made in the NFL have all come at the right tackle position, and the other 4 were at the right guard. If you're wondering about the math, 3 times he started as the extra tight end, so know that. Nashville native Jalen Ramsey just finished up his surgery. It was a successful meniscus repair. That surgery just wrapped up a little while ago. He is reportedly going to be out until December. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, though, you need to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Let's go, Blaine and Mickey. Hour number 2 on a Friday. Hey, it's only 2 hours, so this is the second hour. We're more than halfway through this rascal. We are just running towards the weekend. Man, got the country crew from across the hall in here hollering and partying, and Hitman's all fired up now. Harold Landry spoke after practice today. There were 2 things that happened after practice today. 2 guys spoke at the podium. Well, Vrabel did, but Harold Landry and Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry spoke. I was asking the guys, like, how long did he talk about running back stuff? They said 11 minutes. Like, it was about 11 minutes, uncut, all of it. He spoke because Derrick talks to the media, and he's a nice guy to talk to, but you can tell he'd just rather be doing anything than talking to us. He spoke so passionately today.
He opened up.
He really opened up. Now, he's on Bussin' with the Boys. Those are his friends, and he really opens up. Mostly with us, he gives his answers, and he just keeps things moving. And I respect that. He's not here to talk to us. He's here to run the ball 380 times and do a great job.
He's here to talk to us, man.
Well, you know better.
Especially you.
I wish he felt that way, but that's okay. But he spoke just, like you said, he really opened up, and he got asked about the guys going through franchise tags and what they're dealing with. He said, I got franchise tagged. I know exactly what they were dealing with. Then you're trying to negotiate a longer term contract, and he echoed what, oh gosh, I don't remember which running back said it, but he said, you go out and you get 2,000 yards, and everybody's like, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he was like, wow, 2,000 yards. He said, but then the people who are behind the scenes are just thinking, well, think how many carries it took him to get to 2,000 yards. He said, they're not looking at the great thing that you did. He said, so then it's like a bad thing that you did a great thing. And he said, teams lean on us and we want them to. And then it's like, well, we leaned on you too much. I mean, and again, I'm paraphrasing. You can go back. There are multiple places to have it. There's some of that sound on my Twitter. There's some at Blaine and Mickey. By the way, follow at Blaine and Mickey on Twitter and on Instagram.
And on X.
Blaine and Mickey on X. Every time I say that.
It's going to turn into X.
Still feels weird saying, yeah, we're on X. Just the app X.
SpaceX?
Yeah. Yes, we are. But he just, man, you can tell this is a guy he's a leader on a team. He's a leader among his position group in the NFL. Somebody said, well, he essentially said, I started the group message. I didn't do the Zoom thing, but I started a group message among running backs. He's the one who said he started it. So he's really taken the 2 guys who have been on the Titans longest are he and Kevin Byard. They both got drafted in 2016. Both 8-year veterans. There's older guys on the team, a couple of them. You got Derrick Henry talking about, this is Derrick Henry Day, speaking passionately about running back pay in the NFL.
Got to organize a call. I started a group message, and Austin Eckler, he took it over and organized a call with the PA.
So did you guys come away with anything that can be actionable, anything that you guys can do to help change this or make this better?
I think it's just putting our messages out there, revisiting the subject throughout the season, keeping track of guys, trying to help each other as much as possible. I thought that was a great start, having that Zoom call and having dialogue and guys speaking to the media, being outspoken on how they feel and about everything and seeing the situation. So I think it's a start, but I think what we did is headed in the right direction.
He got asked multiple questions about it at length, and the interesting thing is for him, Blaine, if he has a competent offensive line last year. The Achilles heel, the thing we talked about the most was the poor offensive line play, and he had 1,500 yards. They get 50. That's a career year for most people, and he got 1,500 yards behind a poor offensive line.
But guess what? He gets critiqued on how many carries he got, and his average yards per carry went down.
Yep.
He's slowing down.
Right.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
He didn't have any 80-yard runs last year. He didn't have not one 70-yard touchdown run last year. So what's going to be real interesting, and I'll tell you the other guy who spoke after practice, the other interesting thing about Henry is this is the last year of his current deal. Running backs are making less money. So there's no more. It doesn't look like 15, 16, 14. It doesn't look like anybody's getting that anymore. So if you're the Titans, let's say he does go out and he gets 1,500 more.
Which I expect he will.
I 100% expect it.
As long as Dillard's, I got to come up with a nickname, as long as he's blocking.
Well,
yeah, look, watch out.
Maybe he'll be better in the run game.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm getting my feet under me for the passing game. But run game, I'm going to be a road grader. If I know I'm going downhill, we're all going downhill. Dillard had a rough day today against Arden Key. That's going to be a big topic of
We're going to have our partner in
conversation.
crime go out there and coach him up there. Brad Hopkins, man.
B-Hop could maybe help him get in front of it.
He was a technician and a great athlete.
He was both of those things. And you've talked
and
about
a dog.
Talked about watching Dillard, the athleticism. So
It's there.
You just need to get the dog woke up. But
or wolf.
If you're the Titans, and let's say you did want to try to keep Derrick Henry around for the remainder of his career, and I had a long rant about this earlier this week. It didn't work for Blaine. It didn't work for McNair. It didn't. A lot of guys don't finish here. Brett Kern doesn't. Jarrell Casey doesn't. But maybe they're going to keep him around for a year or two more. What does that look like? Because running back contracts they're going the other way. You know, it peaked with Derrick, and then it peaked with McCaffrey, and then it's
Kamara, and then the versatile guys are the ones that really kind of got what they really probably deserved on the market. Henry still took a little bit of probably should have got a little bit more, but I don't think he could be upset that what he got.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was like 12.5 average, I think.
And then they gave him a bump. Remember, I think a $2 million pay raise, or so hey, they eventually got there.
Yep.
Over time. So I think that's why he's speaking up so much, because I think he knows his time is passed on that. And so if he doesn't speak up, who will?
Right.
Because those guys are fighting to try to get there.
Right.
So why not be an advocate for those guys? And it's all true. I don't think the league is kind of just targeting him. I think people are really seeing as the economics of the NFL goes up. They're trying to, let's say, stay stagnant with these superstar running backs. Now, if you're a good running back, but the superstar guys like Saquon, Henry, I mean, all these guys who are pretty much, let's say, 20, 30% of the offense, I think, man, you either try to do them, redo their deals earlier, or in Saquon's situation, he was injured.
Right.
Or you try to do them on short-term deals, like a 2-year or, a 3-year with a dummy year. And, that way they feel like, you're going to still use them. And they don't feel like, hey, man, I never don't worry. Just think, even though he was the majority of the offense, Daniel Jones still got the big contract. And they signed other people on their team, too, to longer deals.
I think they're still signing people, yeah.
So, and I think he took a bad deal. And when I say that,
Saquon?
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yes, Saquon. And when I say that, I'm not talking about the money part of it, because nobody can say that you making $10 million or more is a bad deal. I'm talking about he didn't put in there, his agent, that he cannot be franchised again. That should have been he took a lesser deal and only really a $900,000 raise compared to the franchise tag number. So to me, they should have been, okay, we'll do you a solid, you do us a solid. We'll continue to work with you on a long-term deal. But if it doesn't work out, we will not franchise you again. Because guess what? They can franchise him one more year, and that's another year and a whole bunch of more carries and everything else on his body. They're taking a lot of hits. So, I mean, man, you watch. Hey, I saw him live here. We saw him. They was just throwing flare routes besides running them. Man, he was a one-man show.
He was a one-man gang.
I don't even recall anybody else doing anything in that game but him for them. That's so. Hey, man, shoot, I could have made some of those throws Daniel Jones was making of the flare routes and screen passes. I'm like, dang, man, that dude was just running around. I'm like, golly. Man, they're massive quads he's got, too, boy. He's special. He's a special player. And to me, special players are supposed to get paid. I don't care what position you are.
Well, you said this, and that this is right. Derrick Henry knows, like, I got my bag. Probably, I mean, never going to see anything like that again. But I got my bag. If I can't stand for these guys on the come up, then who will do it?
Yeah.
But good for him, though. Like, I got mine.
It's the most I've heard him speak freely like that. I've
you-
never heard him. You could even hear in his tone, he was much more relaxed. Like, dang, man, somebody should slide in a different question real quick.
Somebody tried.
Catch him.
Yeah.
Or did they?
Somebody asked him about D-Hop or something, and he answered that too. But then he immediately got 5 more questions about the running back thing.
Because they saw he was open
Yes.
to having a thorough conversation about it. Yeah.
And it was a conversation. Like he would answer a question, and somebody would be like, but now what about this? And he'd say, well, you know, I got franchise too. That's why I know what they're dealing with, because I got it too. You know, then we had to, that's where you start. And then you got to try to negotiate the deal out of there. And, you know, he kept naming those guys he kept naming the guys this year that we were all talking about with Saquon and Josh Jacobs. And, you know, he kept saying them by name. And, you know, Saquon and Josh, he was really taking up for them. Yeah. So it was, it's a cool moment.
The CBA is not helping them. I mean, if you draft a guy in the first round, you got him for 5 years, and then you can franchise him 2 years. So you got him 7 years. Why would you pay him? And then you can start the whole process all over again. You don't even have to take him in the first round. You can get a good second, third. Henry went in the second round.
And literally 7 years. If somebody was a running back on your team for 7 years, I mean, Derrick Henry's already extended the shelf life. You know, the average guy plays 2.4 years or something in the league.
Yeah, I think 3.
And what
I don't know about the running. Wait, maybe for running back.
The running back average, I think, is less than the other position averages. And Derek's already defied all of that.
Well, yeah, he's a unicorn. He's
a unicorn.
Watch this. There's never going to be another Derrick Henry. Not for a long time. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about in the NFL. Usually those big backs, something happens, and then they just are never the same. Well, I'm trying to think of what was the kid for the Giants, Jacobs. What was his
Brandon
name?
Jacobs.
Yeah, he was a big back. I mean, you know, all the big backs seem like they're never tall, but they don't make it.
They lose that spring in their legs, and then they're just a big guy who gets hit a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's still kicking, man. I know a lot of people try to say he lost a step. I couldn't tell. I never saw him break loose, so I want to see him get out and open. I think there was only one time, but there was somebody out in front of him, and he kind of slowed. He didn't put on the gas to go. So I want to see if he still got it, because I want to say he does.
I know the play you're talking about.
Just special.
He was getting chased, but there was still safety between him and the end zone.
And he couldn't just I'm gonna just outrun you. There was
couldn't do it. Yeah,
there was no way he could have done it. There was another time though. It was questionable, but he was just getting going because he had to make a cut. So some people, see, he got caught. And he wasn't going yet. Henry's kind of like that guy coming around that last turn. That's when he getting up to full blast.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see it, but man, they got to get this line right, man. Come on, Dillard.
Got to get it right. Buck Reising is going to join us next. I think he and Lucas did a question this week. What's your confidence level in the offensive line? I can't wait to ask him that after a couple of days of practice. What's his confidence level? Even got a new guy, Hubbard. Chris Hubbard worked out. They signed. He was out there today. He's wearing number 66.
Was he?
So he's another
a depth piece, though,
candidate for right tackle.
Insurance policy, I'm going to say that.
NPF insurance.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Just in case, he may have to start because he's got some starts in his league, but it wasn't like my man Fant, though.
Fant had more.
Did Fant sign somewhere or no?
No, not yet, but he worked out for the Texans Wednesday.
No, I think he signed with the Texans.
Oh, is that,
he just
that
worked out
today?
With him?
He's just worked out with him.
Oh.
Unless he signed today. Maybe he did. We can ask Buck Reising. He will join us next.
Don't sign with them.
All right, here's the challenge for you. When you go home today and you pull into the driveway, maybe you got the garage door opener thing hanging on you got that visor, that you pull down when the sun's in your eyes, and maybe that thing's been up there so long, made the indention in the visor, but you probably haven't hit the garage open button in years because you can't pull your car in there. Hello, Garage. Guess what? There are wizards out there who have storage solutions and flooring solutions for your garage that not only make your garage cool looking, they make it useful and spacious, because all these things that you need to get off the floor, you got a nail in the wall hanging up, or you got a bike there, or sporting goods, hunting equipment, whatever it is, tools, they have storage solutions for all that. Maybe you just want the cool garage floor. Maybe you can get in there, but you think, gosh, it looks so terrible in here. Man, they have the best garage flooring solutions in the business. They look amazing. You just see the ones that I picked out. Woo! Can't help you, though, if you don't call. They can't give you your dream garage if you don't call. Call today, 1-888-59-GARAGE, or online at HelloGarage.com. They'll do a free estimate for you. Trust me, you want to talk to Hello Garage. Blaine and Mickey 1045 The Zone. Happy Friday. Come on with it. Friday. You know, when it's Friday, we get to talk to Buck Reising. He was out at training camp this morning. He's brought to you by Two Rivers Ford, home of the non-commissioned salespeople. Buck, I'll just ask you this. Have you been sacked by Arden Key today?
I think I was the only one who wasn't, but and I don't know if that's a good thing for Arden Key or a bad thing for Andre Dillard. Damn, that man was living in the backfield today.
Well, it's having a conversation with some other media types, and it's like, something's a problem. Like, either Arden Key is a problem, or it's like, ooh, Dillard is a problem. You know? And there's two ways of saying somebody's a problem, and like, oh, man, Arden Key, that dude's a problem. Or could Dillard be a problem?
I mean, he's been a problem to this point in his NFL career. No, that's not fair. I'm not going to call him a problem. For whatever reason, that dude wasn't able to crack a lineup that was filled with a lot of really, really good offensive linemen in Philadelphia. So, like, I'm not going to hold that against him. All I'm going to do is work off of what we're able to see on a regular basis. And it's 2 practices in training camp without pads that we've had access to. Now, that being said, Jeff Simmons did exactly to Daniel Brunskill what Arden Key did today to Andre Dillard. So
he dunked him?
Yeah, I mean, they're ducking all over the place around.
He threw him on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, Mickey, you were out there. He ragdolled Brunskill pretty badly.
Right, now I know Jeff did, but I'm talking about Arden Key was right down Dillard.
Arden Key walked Dillard into Tannehill one time.
Yeah.
Like, just took him and carried him. Like when your dog brings you a dead squirrel, like comes right up to you with it. He delivered Dillard to Tannehill. Like when your dog is like, look at this. And you're like, oh, man.
With a squirrel. I got him, Daddy.
Or like, here's a dead bird just for you. Like, Key was like, hey, man, here's your left tackle.
This is not funny, man. But
here's a dead bird just for you. Oh, my God. People listening to this.
You got cats. I mean, they bring you stuff, I'm sure.
The 3 of us, no, they don't bring me anything but disdain. This is the kind of analysis, by the way, that you can look forward to for another Titan season for 2 hours every Sunday on the League Company Countdown.
Come on,
well, he was supposed to be the fixer. I mean, we didn't even talk about the front side tackle here, Buck. Man, I mean, man, how's that side look, man? This side's not looking. The blind side's not looking too good right now, man. Let's not talk about that no more. Hopefully, go away.
Listen, I'm not talking about that man as a fixer, okay? That man is a completely unproven commodity in the NFL who they gave a pretty, below it is a below market value too, right? He is brought in to correct the issues or at least try and be a little better than the dude who just could not get anything done at all under any circumstances last year, who, by the way, also got a 2-year deal from an NFL team this offseason. My position on Andre Dillard is first padded practice. It sounds like it's. I think that, at least to me, it sounded like they were going to do it tomorrow when there's some fans out there. But I might have missed. I don't want to speak specifically, but I thought that was the understanding. Anyway, I'm going to hold my so far fairly scathing reviews of the offensive line. I'm going to try and keep myself in control, keep the powder dry until such time as they have the ability to crack back a little bit. But God bless in pass protection. These guys are struggling.
Hey, you and Lucas ask this on the Buck Reising show. What is your confidence level in the O-line? So I will ask you to answer your own question there.
I say 3, bud. It's the thing that I'm most.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the thing that I'm most
5?
comfortable with is that. No, a 3 out of 10. Listen to me. If the thing that I'm most comfortable with, Blaine, is the rookie who's never played his position before on that offensive line, I think that's a bit of a problem.
Oh no! See, now my back's going to hurt.
By the way, he looks fine. I'm not worried about him at all. There's everything else around him I'm not crazy about.
Oh yeah, well I know your favorite player, Brewer, there is looking solid, right?
It's not his fault that he's small. It's not my fault.
He plays center. You were saying he was small at guard, but he can't be small at center. You can be smaller at center, man. Come on.
No, you can. Listen, Blaine, it always sounds personal when you make me talk about Brewer, and it's not.
I know.
I want the man to individually succeed, for God's sakes. I just wish that he could do it better than his size indicates that he can. Now, he can, you have seen plenty of centers. He's pretty light in the, in the hind end, for lack of a better term. But, yeah, but you have seen whatever you would consider an undersized center to be succeed in the league. That's not something that's without precedent. And, maybe it is a more natural position for him. And thus far, I have no complaints with Brewer other than, he could use a little more help when people are rushing from or at least at the offensive line's right side. Brunskill is not seem terribly helpful at this point. And Jamarco Jones, man, he wasn't even out there today. I think that guy might be hurt again.
Oh, so who was playing right tackle? We haven't even got to the fun positions yet, man. Who was that right tackle, man? I'm afraid I'm gonna come out there and nobody's gonna be out there.
Yeah, listen, bud, you're about to, because they had the rookie 6th round pick out there playing some right tackle today, Jalen Duncan, and that dude's never seen right tackle in his life.
Oh no. Let's talk about some positive. Okay, how did D-Hop, Berg, send me the receivers? How they look today? And the quarterbacks.
A bad day to be a DB. Bad day to be a DB if you're DeAndre Hopkins and Traylon Burks. They got Christian Fulton. They got Chris Jackson. They were mossing dudes left and right. I'm sure you guys saw the wild.
You talking about in 1-on-1s or 7-on-7?
I'm talking about 1-on-1s, which is obviously skewed towards the offense anyway. But I thought the defense. Still. I thought that besides, with quarterbacks who were not named Ryan Tannehill, I thought the defense did well. Levis threw an interception to the safety, number 30s, an undrafted rookie free agent.
Tyreek Jones.
Malik wasn't bad, but I didn't think it was his necessarily sharpest day based off that. But I thought that Traylon Burks, DeAndre Hopkins, and Ryan Tannehill did well in almost every setting that they were placed in. And you can tell how much Tannehill likes having Hopkins out there, can't you? I mean, he just keeps going back and going back and going back.
Well, it looks like he's covered every time I see a video of Jim White or on your Twitter handle, and I'm like, dang, he just throws up or he just comes down with it.
Buddy, that's his entire career.
Yeah. That's it. That's why his game would translate.
Covered his entire career.
Yeah. Man. So, are there anything or players that are concerning outside of the ones we've already talked about, which was the O-line, or anybody who stood out besides Key? Or depth positions, maybe, like, when I say concerning, like, they need a little more depth just in case somebody gets injured, or just, things like that, just so far. Like,
I don't want to speak out of turn, Blaine, because, we just got the one field in front of me while I'm doing the show.
Right.
And for the most part, there's been, I've been able to see all three teams working, but I don't want to necessarily speak out of turn. So based on the guys who I have seen and what I've been able to watch from my vantage point, there's not necessarily a position group that jumps to mind. I am curious about the inside linebacker depth just generally.
Okay.
They're replacing both of their starting inside linebackers. It looks like Alshire and Monty are kind of, leaders in the clubhouse, but they added a lot of dudes at that position who it sounds like are the same kind of mold in what they looked for in free agency. Value players who might benefit from extended opportunities in other situations. I think that I'm most curious about that. That's my biggest unknown, but I haven't spent a ton of time watching them other than what I've seen in team.
How does Molden look, or the backup safeties look?
Well, they made, as you mentioned, Tyreek Jones made a nice play today. Molden is, we talked to Mike Vrabel about him today, and that sounds like a bigger transition than it did in the spring. I remember talking to Scott Booker, the safeties coach, who essentially said, no, you'll still see him doing corner stuff, and he's going to do a little bit of safety. He's a versatile player. We saw that at Washington, on and on. But the way that Mike Vrabel made it sound today is that sounds like it might be a more full-time situation unless I misunderstood him. So, I mean, Molden does make a difference. That dude can play. The question is just about durability. And Mickey, have you looked at Blaine? I don't know if you've been out there at practice.
No, I have not. I'll be out there tomorrow.
Anyway, so you'll see this if assuming that he's out there. But like, one, his thighs are giant now. I do not remember that dude being stacked like that. And two, he's got athletic tape in the most bizarre places, like and that I've not necessarily seen before, like behind his knees and stuff like that. They almost look like tattoos. So again, durability is my question with Elijah Molden, and so far he's been available, and we'll continue to see how that progresses. But I do think, given that they're a little crowded at corner, him being a part of the safety depth doesn't upset me.
Yeah, I like him there and being more of the dime guy over the tight ends and stuff like that. I think that kind of fits more what he is now at this point in time, see if he can stay healthy. But we're on with Buck Reising from the Buck Reising Show. I got to ask you a fun question because I know this is right up your alley here, and that is, what'd you think about Sean Payton's talking of the Denver Broncos coaching staff last year, calling them the worst coaches in NFL history? Bang! And by the way, they play the Jets too, where he's at.
Week 5, baby. Week 5 in New York. You don't think I'm watching that game? All of America's going to watch that game. Why? My only problem with Sean Payton is what are you doing coming out that strong and then walking it back like a chicken bleep today? You
got to own it now.
That you don't come out that strongly against, and Hackett's probably not going to be. I mean, we'll see how things go in New York, right? But like, Hackett is one of the few NFL coaches that in their first year was fired in the middle of the season. Like, that's Urban Meyer, that's Bobby Petrino. That's not a very acclaimed list of individuals. You got to be really, really bad at that job to get canned the way that dude did. But if Sean Payton feels that way, then okay, fine. You have a lot of pressure on you. You have a lot of expectations on you. That stuff's not just going to go away because apparently you regretted it 40 minutes after you gave the interview. I don't buy it. I think that kind of stuff is this. What we saw is closer to or what we read rather is the real Sean Payton. And what I got at the podium today was just, a dude trying to cover it up for his PR staff's sake.
Sala was talking about the haters in his popping, so just hate away or something. I don't know what he said. I'm like, whoa. So he was calling Payton a hater?
The whole situation is
silly,
very,
man.
very TMZ. It's delightful. It's very NBA. We need a little bit of more of that every once in a while.
Well, Aaron Rodgers, he took a page out of your playbook and took a pay cut there, Buckster. How surprised were you of that? I mean, what do you understand what the totality of the deal is? Are they even signing anybody? I mean, what is he doing?
What's this about me taking a pay cut? What do you know about my contract?
I was acting as though you're Aaron Rodgers here at the station. You're a big, you're our guy.
Big, bright shooting star.
Yeah, and then, you had to take a step back. I don't know what your deal is at all. But thanks for telling me.
Here I am thinking you're making.
I had no idea. I was just using
hallucinogenic
analogy as Aaron
like
Rodgers,
that.
the big Kohina, and then he's taking a pay cut. Like, Aaron Rodgers take pay cut? Nah, he's not Tom Brady. He doesn't take pay cuts.
Well, I mean, so I'm not. I understand that he took a substantive pay cut. I understand that it keeps his no trade clause in place, which is important because it means that they can do things around him this year, but also means that they have to keep him as long as he wants to continue playing. So it's not like he did it completely, out of the goodness of his heart. It benefits Aaron Rodgers too. But listen, he's at a stage of his career. He's going to be known as the guy that won the one, and Tom Brady has as many NFC championship wins as he does after, what was that, Tom's first year in the conference, right?
Yeah, it's year one.
So he is at a place where, he's got his money. He's going to be comfortable. His family's going to be comfortable for the rest of their lives in all likelihood. Like, he's done everything that he's supposed to do, and he does have the one Super Bowl. But it's been a long time since he has legitimately established himself as the kind of quarterback who, his talent indicates that he should be. But, especially with Mahomes winning a second one, you start to look at Aaron Rodgers in a little bit of a different light than I think a lot of people have. And, he certainly carries himself a certain kind of way, and that's fine. He's an incredibly talented and special player in a league with a lot of really, really high-level athletes. But Aaron Rodgers understands the importance of winning right now, and I would say it's a little bit more about legacy for him than it is, for example, for somebody like Kevin Byard, who just desperately wants to win something here, something of consequence.
One and only Buck Reising, our guest, the Buck Reising Show and the Install and A to Z Sports and all the places you can find him. So we've seen 2 days of practice. What's the best thing you've seen? What's the worst thing you've seen?
I think Hopkins is obviously going to be a highlight. It's an easy answer, but I think Harold. Can I say Harold? He looks great. I know it's.
He sounded like $1 million today. Yeah.
And it'll never sound like that again.
He was happy to see everyone.
We got the one
it was
good
crazy.
Derek podium day. We got the one good Harold podium day.
Yeah.
We better take it and run. But yeah, Harold has been, out there. He's been active. He's been available. He said he damn near has a new AC or a perfect ACL at this point. Knock on wood for him. And there's nothing about him that indicates almost a full year removed from that ACL tear that there's again, it's 2 training camp practices that we have access to. So try not to get too overexcited. But it has been a pleasant surprise. You can tell that his teammates benefit from him being out there. He is making plays. You can hear his coaches being pleased with his performance thus far, and I think the combination of him and Arden Key, while they I think present as 2 kind of polar opposite personalities, I think they're going to make a really, really nice pair.
Buck Reising hanging out with us here on Blaine and Mickey, making his Friday visit.
Well, Buckster, before we let you go, give us your shot. Shot.
I am going to call my shot that I'm going to be in a pool within the next 20 minutes of us ending this phone call because it is 1,000 degrees outside, and I can still feel the training camp on me.
Does that pool belong to Robert Walsh?
No, I would never get in that pool. Have you guys seen that pool? Not just because, Bert generally looks like somebody who I would not want to be in a body of water with, but like the pool is structurally unsound.
It's on the side of a hill.
It's literally built on the side of a hill. I'm not going to get him. Anyway, he should not have put that pool up.
Well, tell everybody where you're hanging out at so they can meet you there.
Ooh. Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah, I want him to harass you.
Blaine Bishop. There's no way Blaine Bishop is doing public pools.
Yes. Yeah.
I am not.
Watch this. Here's how you do. Everybody meet me at Soho. Oh, you can't get in.
Hey, did you see that picture of Blaine we tweeted out for Blaine and Mickey yesterday? That version of Blaine will be at the pool with you. He's all oiled up.
That was like 25 years ago.
Blaine, to your credit, it ain't that much different, but I still don't want to go to a pool with you. It makes me look bad. I'm not trying to live that way. Get out of here.
Oh, you looking ripped up now, man. Keep it up, man. You're doing a good job on the change of lifestyle, eating habits.
Oh, yeah. Well, don't worry. Football season right around the corner. I'll be showing it here in a second.
200 by football season. Bucky, thanks, man. Good stuff as always. Enjoy your pool day.
Take care, guys.
The one and only Buck Reising. When we come back, it's time for the one and only Call Your Shot. I'm going to identify this year's Mickey Ryan Camp Crush.
Oh.
I even interviewed him today after camp.
This is your shot.
My shot is my Camp Crush that he will make the team this year. All right. We'll call our shot next. You can hear my Camp Crush. You can call your shot, 615-737-1045, or right there in the F&M Bank chat. We await your shots. You've been hearing me talk about this lake deal for a long time. Well, guess what? Long time is now go time. Saturday, tomorrow, July 29th, your chance to experience the lake life that you've always dreamed of. This is a full deal. Wooded estate lots and sunset waterfront lots. Those things are $20K off in Lake Villa packages, starting $349.9. There's golf cart paths and a marina and a resort and walking trails and shoreline, and you can play on the lake if you want to, or maybe you just want to relax at the waterfront restaurant. They play pickleball and they got pools and they do concerts there. This is lake life but it's like on steroids. It's all about 20 minutes from Knoxville. They got financing available. Look, man, call, secure a tour, secure your future on the lake with your friends and your family. Make those memories. It's July 29th. It is tomorrow. Call now. 865-408-9992, or just go to lakelivingtn.com for more information to invest in something real. Invest in that lake life you've always dreamed of. Boy to Mickey. Calling shots.
Uh-oh.
Shot.
I don't think people don't like my shot.
Brought to you by Chattanooga Whiskey, 91, an award-winning small batch bourbon, the only Tennessee high malt, featuring tasting notes of toasted honey and graham cracker, a roll winner, available at your local retail store. Chattanooga Whiskey. Shots. Maybe you'll take some responsible shots of that this weekend. Jeff in Nashville is online with a shot. He is checking in on the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline, 615-737-1045. Jeff.
Good morning. Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Howdy.
I got a big shot for you guys. Big shot. Nobody wanted to believe me a couple years ago when I said the Niners were going to Super Bowl. So this is my shot for here. Y'all better put your bets in on FanDuel or whatever you go on. But the Titans and the 49ers are going to the Super Bowl this year. So just be ready.
Titans and the 49ers. So your two teams, and who you going for in the
Rand
Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I think I want the Titans. I do want the Titans to win it all, but I think the Niners are finally going to go over their hump and win that. But I see the Titans and the Niners getting in there this year.
All right, let's synchronize our watches. Friday, July 28th, Jeff
I'm definitely remember.
called it Titans and 49ers in the Rand Bowl. Old Rands versus new Rands. Tyler in the F&M Bank Chat said, my shot is as long as the O-line can come together and be at least middle of the road, then the Titans win 12 games.
Dang, 12?
He said 12.
Ooh.
12.
Ooh.
Yep, he said 12.
Ooh, someone's Tennessee Tactical won 10 games.
Okay.
Yeah,
10?
I can work with the 10 and 7. I think that's where I'm at on the
What did Sean Salisbury say yesterday? Whoever wins 10 games wins the South.
Oh, that's right. He did say that.
He said 10 games wins the South. So if
they're gonna
Tennessee
beat up on each other,
Tactical 1 says we win 10, that's in the chat. Hubie says my shot is that the Titans get to 10 wins. 10 Berg. I see people are shooting 10 wins all over this shot here.
Yeah 10. I'm around the
shots.
9, 10-ish. It's when I'm looking at the schedule, but I got to see how they look, man, early because,
they're not favored in any of the first 6.
I know. That's what makes me nervous. It's
they're
like,
not favored in any of
Vegas is not that ding-dongish. They're not too far off. They're saying the Titans going to win, what, 7 games?
7.5 is what Vegas said.
Yeah, they're going to win more than that.
So
I'm going 9 or 10.
Regular season there, start out their 3-point dogs at the Saints, 3.5-point dogs hosting the Chargers, 4-point dogs at Cleveland. There's no line for the Bengals-Titans game. I guess that went off when Joe Burrow's calf popped yesterday.
Yeah, calfy. Would you got a shot, Joseph?
Yeah, I heard something Coach Mack said this morning on the Buck Reising show about D-Hop and Tannehill looking like they're in sync. It's day 2. They already look in sync. D-Hop's going to have 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns.
Oh, 8?
8 touchdowns.
8. Oh, okay.
Those are minimum numbers. As long as he stays healthy.
What? Minimum numbers? You're just,
1,100
you write
yards
checks for this guy.
As long as he stays healthy, 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns.
I think he could get 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns if he missed 2 or 3 games. But now we talked about this. His career target volume per game average is 10. We'd have to go back and look. I mean, maybe Charlie Hennigan back in the AFL days with George Blanda, like the first 2 Titans teams, he may have gotten 10 targets a game. Did anybody else?
The run and shoot days.
But there was a lot of them, though.
Well, when they had Bennett and Mason. They was throwing all with
Billy Volek.
He would throw that thing more all over the place. Yeah, Big Jeff winning Defensive Player of the Year. Oh, I like that one. It's gonna be my first negative one. Some depth piece. I'm gonna say death piece. Depth piece. Maybe the depth of the team. Like, oh my gosh,
boy, that
depth piece.
I'm gonna be negative. Some death piece.
Yeah. Is not going to make it through training camp and is going to be out for the year.
Are you?
Yeah.
Like injury-wise?
Yeah.
Because it's happening everywure. Saints Trey Turner out for the year.
Mm-hmm.
That happened earlier.
Yep. So I'm going there. I can't wait to go there tomorrow. Check them out, especially this O-line.
Yeah, I will be anxiously watching that. And it looks like maybe they're not, but Buck was on today. Jalen Duncan got the right tackle reps, the rookie. Maybe
from Maryland.
Maybe every one of them just gets a day. And then
the
they
other
watch
guy,
the film.
what's his name? OJ?
Ojuku.
Yeah, he's
from Boise State. He played a lot of football at Boise State.
Played left and right tackle there.
And he's like tall and lean.
Yeah, 6'5", 6'6"-ish.
Yeah.
210. I mean, 310.
Yeah, boy, if he's 210.
Yeah, 210, boy, he'd be
that's my walking around
to
way.
my bull rush him.
In my dreams.
Yeah,
they
was 310, I'm sorry.
Take him and hand him to the quarterback like a dog with a dead bird.
So what's your shot? Oh, you got to tell us your crush because you've been on point.
Alert. My camp crushes have made the team. Like
2 of the last 3 years, right?
I think all of them.
No.
Because it was Khalif Raymond when he got here. And he
and
stuck
those are
around.
the only two in Chestnut.
Chestnut last year. Who was it the year before?
Nobody else. No, you're getting outrageous there, Mickey.
I'm going to go back and look. Maybe it was somebody got cut. Here it is. He's a veteran this year. Jonathan Ward.
I knew he was going to say
Jonathan
running
Ward.
back.
He was on the team for the last 3 games last year. He actually played some football for this team. He is a fellow MAC player. He's Central Michigan.
Yeah, the Chippewas.
He's from a directional school in Michigan. This dude, they threw him just a flare route today. And he was being tailed all the way down the field.
Oh, you pulled an Eddie George?
All the way down the
Henry.
field. Like Derrick Henry.
Oh.
He caught the ball in the flat, and they run after him, try to slap him on the butt. No one caught him. He ran like 70 yards down the field. And they're blowing whistles when he gets to the 30 or whatever.
Come back. He kept on running, didn't he?
He kept on running. This dude, he's got quicks. I asked him, you can go to my Twitter, I ask him a couple questions. What'd you work on this off season? And he was talking about the things he's focused on. And
5'11", 202.
He has got a real chance to make this team. He's got a real chance. Now, I know Tyjae Spears, similar guy, elusive and all that. This guy can play special teams. He can do a lot of stuff. Camp Crush.
Uh-oh.
Jonathan Ward.
So that means Haskins may be in trouble. Because guess what I'm going? Chestnut knocking at your door. King, Shaw. I did it. Tyjae Spears. And then Ward. How many running backs you keeping? Then you got to keep a fullback, H-back type guy who's moving around and could do multiple things.
Rams with 49ers last year, they kept 3 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, and a fullback. I know it's a different team, but they can do things. He said, I'm keeping the best 53. Keeping the best 53.
Malik better get ready to play some running back.
He better get ready to try to make the team. All right, we got to get out of here. 3HL's next. Have a great weekend.
But in the meantime.
In between time.
Peace. Tighten up.